The first sit I'm going to talk about is Tua Tagovailoa. Tua had a massive game last week, throwing 50 times, completing 36 passes for 469 yards and 6 touchdowns. I can promise you that he's not going to do that again this week against the Bills. The Bills held Matthew Stafford to 240 yards and 1 touchdown, and Ryan Tannehill to 117 yards passing and 0 touchdowns. The Bills' defense is on another level and capable of halting this Dolphins offense. There will be tons of people trying to put Tua into their lineup, but fantasy owners beware. Do not start Tua this week against the Bills. Look elsewhere. Don't get caught up in the numbers he put up in week 2. The next sit will be Joe Flacco. Flacco's been the man on a mission so far this season, and there has come a time where we have to be honest with ourselves and realize that even when he was in his prime with the Ravens, he wasn't a startable fantasy quarterback. Flacco will come down to earth sooner rather than later, and I wouldn't want you guys holding the bag when that happens. Stay away from Flacco in week 3. My last sit would be Mac Jones. No one knows what's really troubling this Patriots offense. It seems like the running backs can't get it going, the pass catchers can't get it going, and other than really Jacoby Myers, but by the way, I'm not really excited about Nelson Aguilar's 110 yards receiving he had last week. Mac Jones simply isn't getting the job done right now, and there's no way I'm going 10 feet towards starting Mac Jones on my fantasy team, even with him going against the Ravens in week 3. The first start at quarterback in week 2 that I'm going to talk about is Kirk Cousins. Cousins gets a great matchup against the Lions in week 3. Now, I'm not sold on Cousins' performance last week with 1 touchdown and 3 interceptions. I believe he gets back on track with a plethora of wide receivers and someone you can bank on as your quarterback in week 3. The next start that I'm going to talk about is Joe Burrow. I strongly believe that Burrow will have the get-right type of game in week 3 against the Jets. The Jets are far from a defense that I would be worried about. I mean, when you allow Jacoby Brissett to put up 230 yards passing on you, that's not a very good secondary. I mean, look for Burrow to pull his team to a 1-2 record and get over this hump as he dissects this defense. Start Burrow with confidence in week 3. The last start I'm going to talk about is Derek Carr. Carr will be taking on the Titans, who can't seem to find any momentum thus far in the season. Devontae Adams will want to be more involved in week 3 than he was in week 2, so I do expect to see some fireworks in Tennessee for week 3. If you're in needing of a starting quarterback, you could do far worse than Derek Carr. Start Carr and be happy with his production in week 3. Now on to the Bengal Tiger Start of the Week. The Bengal Tiger Start of the Week is going to be Matthew Stafford. Stafford gets this opportunity to play a secondary who couldn't slow down a sloth. The Cardinals have been struggling to stop the pass this season, and coming to town is Stafford. Look for touchdowns early and often for Stafford, as he should be one of the highest scoring fantasy players in week 3.